Hello. Today we're in Springfield, Massachusetts, on a street called Cherry Street, which is very close to Central Street, and we're in front of a cemetery here, which is the oldest cemetery in Springfield that's never been moved. It's the second oldest cemetery, but the old Springfield burial ground, which is near the river downtown, was moved in the 1840s, and this is the oldest one left where the people are still here, never moved. All the others come after that. That's incredible. So we're looking at the front gates and then the entryway into the Cherry Lane Cemetery. And the gate say here it says 1932, and what that means is that the column was made 1932. On this one, it says 1826. That means the year the cemetery was actually made, 1826. So the first burials would have happened that year. And Springfield is in control of the cemetery, and what they do is they come by often enough to keep care of the grass. Now you might notice that there's no upright slab gravestones. They're all down on the ground on purpose. So decades ago, some of the maintenance crew decided that it's best to have them down. They're probably in disarray anyways. A lot of them were down anyways. So they said it's better to have them all down if they're not going to be all up. Alright, and so thus, even on the entry masonry going inwards, there's 4 right there, and then at the top of this grass there's 2 more on the right. Right, and there's even burials right into the bushes. So I checked the out perimeter into those bushes, and there are burials right inside there with stones. Now you might see an upright stone in the middle that's modern, and it tells you that the Baptist Society of Springfield owned this cemetery, and that's very typical. The Congregationalists would have their own cemetery. The Baptists would have their own because they didn't like the Congregationalists. All the Protestant denominations would share the Congregational cemeteries in general, and the Baptists just wanted to be alone. And it happened over and over again, so this is very common. And that stone also happens to have many names on it. I would guess there's a list of about 200 names on there of people buried in here. But this cemetery is large enough. There should be 800 burials, and it's known that only 20 spots are left in here. If that's true, then there's way over 700 people buried here, and it's hard to determine who is buried here. They do know what plots are taken, but they don't know where people exactly are. And they lost a list of who is here. But they have a decent idea, so they put it on that column 200 other names. And if you walk around, you'll see veterans' tombstones. And you'll see family groupings. And it's always well manicured. It's still nice with trees and bushes inside. Right? There's only one gate, and that's here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly go inside. Since everything is down, there's not much to show you, but I'm going to briefly go up to that upright memorial and show you what it looks like, and also show you a couple of stones. Okay, this is what I mean by being right next to the entrance ramp. There's many stones, and then there's a husband and wife team here of the Goodsells, and their daughter and son are back there. There's a flagpole here, and then here are the names of all the people I was telling you about. I'll try to get this list up on my webpage. And in the back of it, and there are many gravestones around. You can see a few, and even flower plots, a veteran's grave over there, a family plot. But in the back, it tells you Cherry Lane Cemetery, established January 10th, 1826 by the First Baptist Society of Springfield in memory of those who died in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. So they put that up. That's very nice. So, as you can see, there's not much to see unless you really go up to these and you start to realize that there actually are a lot of burials here. And that just at the entrance you might be fooled to think there's not much here. Now this is not a pauper's field. This is a true Baptist cemetery. And you can see all the parts seem to be the same, but I hear there's a special section back here. Not many burials. Maybe the tombstones fell into the ground and they're hard to find. And I also heard there's some pins nearby for people that could not afford tombstones. There are pins put in the ground to help grid up the cemetery. Okay, so there's a lot to see if you really wander in here. So thank you for coming here.